Hello, hello. Welcome to another corner.
Tech corner.
A tech corner. Welcome to Access Tech Corner, guys. You got Matt and Boris once again, your lovely hosts as usual. And you know what? Matt, why don't you tell them what we're talking about?
So today, this week, we are going to be talking about virtual reality. It's a super cool tech concept. And also, we can't talk about virtual reality without talking about augmented reality. So we're going to talk about that and how it should be evolving in 2017 and where it's come from. So let's do this. So virtual reality, you've probably heard of it. If you haven't tried it, I highly suggest it. I've done it a couple times and it's pretty cool. It's really fun. But VR has definitely been going through some growing pains. If you've been following it all, between like the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, there's been like slow shipping or like canceled orders, and this has all kind of had a negative impact on virtual reality. In fact, in 2016, at the beginning of the year, it was estimated there was going to be $4.4 billion in sales. Turned out only to be $2.7 billion. So that's quite a difference of expectations versus reality. Virtual reality. So one of the problems is all these products, the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, they might be becoming labeled as like niche specialist products due to the high price point and kind of the barrier to entry. There's quite a bit of things that you need to have to get these things going. And it's also going to be even more so a problem as Microsoft and Sony begin to introduce new headsets into the market, which are a lot cheaper and they're kind of all in. So you can get it going a lot quicker with these new products. On top of that, it's all about, you know, the apps that you could use, the games you could use, the applications that you could make happen with a virtual reality headset. And the thing is, it's kind of minimal right now because developers for virtual reality, they're not really taking to it because it's not at scale. Like everybody doesn't have a virtual reality headset. It's quite a few amount of people, so why would they want to develop maybe a game or an app for that when no one's actually going to buy it, right? So that's definitely a problem. So I'm also want to move into augmented reality, which is, you know, something that's definitely picking up as well. And definitely the biggest thing that happened, which is pretty cool, was Pokemon Go. It was the phone, and then you could, I don't know if anybody still uses it. I definitely don't. Some of my friends do. I think Boris does too. He's always on it. But one interesting thing about that was Pokemon Go actually made $600 million in 2016, which was more than the total of VR games. Like every single VR game that was out there, like combined, made nothing close to Pokemon Go. So, which is interesting. And on top of that, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft executives and, you know, the higher ups, they're all really interested in AR, and they all praise Pokemon Go in some way because it's really kind of pushing it forward. On top of that, Pokemon Go used a phone, and Mark Zuckerberg has been quoted saying he prefers augmented reality being on a phone as opposed to those pretty nerdy glasses that Google came out with. I don't know if that's going to take off, but it just makes sense because you have to buy another device if you're getting the glasses as opposed to a phone, which can make it accessible for anybody to get into, which could really push AR growth. But honestly, like Facebook has invested almost over $2 billion in the Oculus. It's still early. We're constantly seeing new virtual reality applications, and there's quite a few cool things that could happen with it. And it is an exciting piece of technology. If one of your friends has it, you're like, yo, let me try that, right? So it's just getting to the point of everybody purchasing it. So
absolutely. You know what? With that being said, I'm gonna go into ways you can use it. I do want to mention one thing though. You just killed my dating life by saying I play Pokemon. So thank you, Matt, for
hey, man,
revealing that information to the world.
They made $600 million. There's definitely a fish in the sea there for you that are playing Pokemon Go right now.
All right. Anyway, a new dating profile. Yep. What's it called? So basically, for virtual reality, you can use it for entertainment purposes. For example, you know, it's gonna be part of gaming. It's gonna be part of movies, education. So things like medicine, chemistry. You know, for example, if there's like med students, they're going to be able to perform procedures or mix together chemicals without actually doing it in a virtual world. So that's going to save a lot of money and time. presumably, of course, we'll see how that all pans out.
And lives too. Instead of doing it on an actual.
It's gonna save virtual lives. Matt's excited about that. He has no inclination of saving real lives, but virtual lives, Matt's all about it.
Gotta save those avatars.
Yeah. So basically, tourism and exploring. For example, you could go to destinations, have 360 views of them before you go there, maybe to check it out, or just to have like a small experience if you want to. Psychology, meditation, things like that. Virtual reality has been so distracting that people are saying it's a better painkiller than some like modern medicine, which is really interesting. That's a point.
Like escape your own reality.
Yeah. So we'll see how that develops. Although I'm not overly optimistic about that claim, but we'll see if that's actually true. So then real estate and shopping, of course. Right? For real estate agents, like a dream come true, give virtual tours, give people tours of houses 100 miles away, 200 miles away, make those purchasing decisions easier. For shopping, see yourself in the store, see the items as if they're in front of you without actually being there and then making those purchases. I'm sure that integration is coming out soon. And then social, you can jump into video games as an avatar and just, become Hercules or whatever you want to become. It's virtual, so you're allowed to.
And I think Facebook, one of the reasons they purchased Oculus was because of the shopping. I think that was one thing they were really interested in. So we could see how that develops for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we've talked about like what you can do with it. So how do you actually get started with this? So basically, to start, all you really need is a phone if you're doing augmented reality. So if you're doing the Pokemon Go, you just need a nice iPhone 6, like Boris here, and then you could just be doing it, or any phone really. To get into virtual reality, again, it's very simple. The basics are a phone and a headset like the Google Cardboard headset. I believe it's Manu, who works at our company here. He's tried it before, and he said it's not that comfortable, but you get to start it, so it's kind of cool. It's a good way to dip your feet into it. And then moving on to more advanced, all you really need is a headset and a PC or a gaming console. Like with the Sony VR, it just ties right into the PS4. And then when you're getting a bit more advanced, you could have also add controllers or cameras and sensors that go around. I actually used one with the cameras and sensors at a buddy's house. It was super cool, super fun. But when you're getting to that point, it's quite a commitment. You're gonna need a beast PC to run these kind of things. And then the VR headset and all those accessories, they get pretty expensive. So we'll have to see how that develops. But that's all you really need to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on that note, actually, I want to give you guys some product recommendations if you are looking to get into this market or try it or test it out or see what all the hype is about, since we gave you all this wonderful information. So basically, there's this thing called Google Cardboard. It's literally a piece of cardboard, literally. And what you can do with that, it's like the easiest and cheapest and like most convenient way to test VR. So if you want to just get a glimpse into what we're just talking about, you have no idea what we're talking about, if that's something you want to get into, I recommend the cardboard, because you'll just see a glimpse of what it actually is, and then that could pique your interest, or you could say, I'll just stick to my iPhone 6s, which I have, not 6. Then you have the Samsung Gear, I think it's Samsung Gear VR. So this is the best smartphone-based VR device. And you put it on your face and you basically
Slide your phone into it,
go like this. What is it? Slide?
You slide your phone into it. It's like cardboard, but it's just a piece of cardboard.
Something like that. Yeah. It's a little,
nicer for sure.
Yeah, it's a little nicer, and it's still not, from what I've heard, very comfortable, but you could just film yourself going like this with a piece of cardboard on your head and have a good time. Then you have the Oculus Rift, which most of you have probably heard about. This is the very immersive experience. You can see in all directions, look at objects really close to your face. Like Matt mentioned, though, to power this thing, you need, you got to call NASA and be like, hey, you guys got any spare computers I can use for this at-home test I want to do because I'm bored? They probably won't call you back. Anyway, then you have the HTC Vive, Vive.
I think it's Vive.
Okay. And that's the ultimate VR experience, hands down.
So far, at least.
So far. You know, you grab objects, you can walk around. You're pretty much living in a different world as somebody else, but not really. And it's, you know, this is one of those you have to be careful with though, because not only do you need a computer that NASA has, you also gotta like clear the whole room and plug in a lot of things, and it's just like really complicated.
That one uses the sensors around the room as well as like the controllers.
So I mean, you're basically like an alien in an alien world at that point, and
pretty much there's some cool things you could do.
Absolutely. And then you know, a competitor to the Oculus Rift is the Sony PlayStation VR. And you don't have to have a like big time PC for this, because it integrates with the PS4. So you would have to have the PS4, but that's much less expensive than the type of PC that we're mentioning here. And that's pretty much it for product recommendations.
Yep, I've used the Oculus and the Vive, and they're both really cool. The Oculus was at like an event that we had, and the Vive was actually at my buddy's house, and we do it like all the time. Like we'll go out on a Saturday, and then we'll go back to our buddy Pat's, and we'll like play the archery, which is really cool. So that's really fun. I think it's really cool actually. If you haven't tried, I highly suggest like you somehow figure out get a friend or something and then go over there. It's really cool. And this PlayStation one, really want to do the X-Wing Star Wars thing. Sounds really cool. I'm very excited about VR.
Well, listen guys, I mean, if you haven't tried it, this Saturday, upcoming Saturday, whatever day it is now, this upcoming Saturday, you can go to Buddy Pat's house on Saturday.
Open invite.
So just keep emailing Matt. Every single one of you email Matt. He'll respond personally. I'm just kidding, by the way. Don't do that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on all this VR? Have you tried it?
I haven't tried VR yet. I have tried Pokemon Go, not on my own phone. I don't actually use it, but on a few of my friends. Yeah. Okay. I'm lying. I totally use it. No. But yeah. I mean, I think it's before its time still. I think everybody kind of wanted it to blow up and be like this instant success. I think it's going to take some time, and you know, I'm not too sure if the headset wearing is the way to go with it, which is why I like Mark Zuckerberg's comment. He said he'd rather have it on the phone, because I'll be very honest, I don't want to wear like some big piece of tech on my head, you know, and like it has to be easier. Yeah. And so I think the market is going to demand that as well. And so I think innovation is going to take over, but just not yet.
Yeah, definitely when you're setting these things up, like you need to, you know, open the application, turn on all the cameras, plug everything in. Like it's almost like taking like an exotic bath, setting up all the candles and stuff. Sometimes you just want to jump in the shower, right?
Right, so I think it's very much still early adopters. It's going to be huge for sure, but not in like 2 years.
Yeah, I think it'll take a while.
It'll take a little longer than that.
With any new tech. It took a while for smartphones even. But yeah, that wraps up this week's episode of Tech Corner. Make sure you subscribe below so that when we post another cool one of these, you'll know about it. We're also posting a bunch of cool videos and other kind of fun stuff on our Facebook, so make sure you follow us there. And tune in next week.
The links are both down there. Have a great one.